Welcome to Emma's English. Welcome back to Emma's English Talk, your daily channel for mastering real-world English. I'm your host, Emma. Today, we're going to watch and listen to a conversation about the struggle of finding something to watch on streaming platforms. First, just sit back, relax, and try to catch as much as you can. Don't worry if you miss a few words. We will break down the key vocabulary in our word tour later in the video. Ready? Let's dive into the dialogue. You sit down on the couch on a Friday night, remote in hand, ready to relax, and suddenly you realize you have absolutely no idea what to watch.
It's the ultimate modern struggle, because you end up spending 45 minutes scrolling through endless menus until you're too tired to actually watch anything.
That is exactly what happened to me yesterday, and I call it the streaming scroll of shame.
I know that feeling all too well, where you add 10 different movies to your watch list, but deep down, you know you'll never actually hit play on any of them.
You just browse the categories, watch a few trailers, get overwhelmed by the sheer volume of choices, and eventually give up completely.
It really is a prime example of analysis paralysis, where having too many options actually makes it harder to make a simple decision.
When we only had 3 or 4 television channels growing up, you just watched whatever happened to be on at the moment.
Exactly. You didn't have to make a choice, which meant you could just turn off your brain and enjoy the broadcast without overthinking it.
Now we have thousands of high-quality shows and blockbuster movies right at our fingertips, yet we still constantly complain that there is nothing good to watch.
The craziest part is what we usually end up doing after we finally give up on finding something new and exciting for the evening.
We just retreat right back to our comfort zone and put on the exact same sitcom we have already seen 5 times from beginning to end.
I am totally guilty of that, because it is just so much easier to put on an old, familiar show while I eat my dinner.
There is actually a psychological reason for that, because watching a show where you already know the ending is deeply relaxing for an anxious mind.
That makes a lot of sense, because you don't have to pay close attention or worry about missing any unexpected plot twists.
You can safely look away from the screen to check your phone, reply to a text message, and you won't miss any important story details.
It basically becomes expensive background noise for our evening phone scrolling habit.
Meanwhile, our friends and coworkers are constantly giving us lists of highly recommended, award-winning dramas that we absolutely must watch.
And you smile and nod, promising them you will check it out this weekend, knowing full well you are going to watch another episode of your favorite childhood cartoon instead.
It feels like watching those prestigious, heavy dramas requires a huge commitment of mental energy that we just don't have after a long day of work.
You have to remember character names, follow complex political plots, and pay attention to subtle clues scattered throughout 10 very long episodes.
Sometimes I just want a guaranteed laugh within 20 minutes without having to solve a dark murder mystery in my head.
This is exactly why those classic 20-minute comedy episodes will always remain our ultimate guilty pleasure.
The funny thing is, I still continue paying for 3 different subscription services every month just to have access to all this content I ignore.
We all do it, because we like having the option to binge watch a brand new series, even if that only happens once or twice a year.
When you do finally find that one perfect show, it is almost dangerous because you end up staying awake until 3 in the morning.
You promise yourself just one more episode, and suddenly the sun is coming up, and you have to go to the office in 2 hours.
Then you spend the whole day at work regretting your life choices, fueled entirely by strong cups of coffee.
But the moment you get home, you fall right back into the exact same trap, on the couch with the remote control in your hand.
I think we need to accept that sometimes the act of searching for a movie is actually the entertainment itself.
It's a lot like window shopping at the mall, where looking at the displays is fun, even if you never intend to buy a single thing.
We get to judge movie posters, critique actor choices, and read short summaries without ever committing our valuable time to the actual film.
Maybe the streaming platforms should just create a channel that only plays movie trailers, back to back, for people exactly like us.
I would probably watch that for hours, honestly, because trailers give you all the best action scenes without the boring dialogue in between.
It would definitely cure my decision fatigue, which is that exhausted feeling you get when you are forced to make too many choices in one day.
Decision fatigue is so real, especially when you consider how many tiny choices we have to make from the moment we wake up.
What to wear, what to eat for breakfast, which route to take to work, which stressful email to answer first.
By the time evening rolls around, our brains are completely out of battery power for anything requiring serious judgment.
So asking us to choose between a gritty historical documentary and a science fiction epic is just asking way too much of us.
I have actually started tricking myself by creating a strict rule where I only give myself 5 minutes to pick something new.
And if you fail to find something within those 5 minutes, what exactly is your backup plan?
If the timer goes off and I am still scrolling, I force myself to turn off the television and read a physical book instead.
That sounds like a fantastic strategy, though I bet you just end up scrolling on your phone in silence on the couch.
You know me too well, but at least I am saving electricity by not having the big screen on while I look at funny cat videos.
We really are living in the golden age of entertainment, even if we are absolutely terrible at taking advantage of it.
Hello everyone, it's Emma. Welcome to today's word tour. Let's review some of the great vocabulary we used in our conversation about the modern TV struggle. First, we talked about analysis paralysis. This is a fantastic phrase. It happens when you have so many choices that you overthink the situation and become paralyzed, meaning you can't make a decision at all. If you spend an hour looking at a restaurant menu and still don't know what to order, you are experiencing analysis paralysis. Next, we mentioned a comfort zone. In daily life, your comfort zone is a psychological state where things feel familiar, safe, and easy. When we are tired, we return to our comfort zone by watching old TV shows instead of challenging our brains with new ones. Another useful term is background noise. This refers to sounds or media playing in a room that you are not actively listening to. Sometimes we leave the TV on just for background noise while we wash the dishes or look at our phones, simply so the house doesn't feel too quiet. Our fourth phrase is guilty pleasure. A guilty pleasure is something you enjoy, even though you feel a little embarrassed about it or know it isn't very high quality. Eating a whole box of cheap chocolate or watching a silly cartoon as an adult are perfect examples of guilty pleasures. We also talked about the verb binge watch. To binge watch means to watch many episodes of a television series one after another without stopping. It's what happens when you tell yourself you will only watch one episode, but you end up watching the whole season in one night. Finally, we discussed decision fatigue. This is the mental exhaustion you feel after making too many choices throughout the day. By the time you get home from work, your brain has no energy left to choose a movie, and that heavy, tired feeling is decision fatigue. Try using these words in your own English conversations this week. Keep listening and keep practicing. Great job today! Listening to natural English like this is the best way to improve your skills. Remember, you can download the free PDF script for today's episode from the link in the description below. It's perfect for reviewing the dialogue and practicing the vocabulary we learned. If you enjoyed this lesson, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening and keep up the great work. See you next time!